I contend that the highest rated Super Bowl of all time would be the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. So kind of in a way rooting for that. The long-standing losing Detroit Lions and the Bills, who have actually had a lot of great teams that can't win. I find right now the easiest team in the league to root for is the Buffalo Bills. Again, if they had 2 Super Bowls with Jim Kelly, I wouldn't feel this way. But it's like my wife used to have to work. She was in corporate America, and she always said the nicest people she'd ever met were in Buffalo. She's like, it's an underrated place to live. It's the nicest people in the world. And you don't have a heart or a soul if you're not rooting for Buffalo to win a Super Bowl. You have to. Like, here's the thing. Detroit is easy to root against. They've been incompetent, right? It's not like they've gotten bad breaks. No, Buffalo's been really competent. Sean McDermott, Jim Kelly, great players. Marv Levy. They've had good coaches. They've had great quarterbacks. They've had good GMs. They've had great teams. They just ran into the Cowboy dynasty. They ran into great teams. So it's if you look at all of sports in North America, there are 2 teams, and I don't know a lot about hockey, but it does feel like the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's about time they won a Stanley Cup. Like they've had enough quality. That's a big you can't get a ticket to a game in Toronto. It's about time they won. And it's ironic that Toronto, it's a little drive over to Buffalo. But I feel that the Bills-Lions had the highest scoring game in the league last year at 90 points. If I'm rooting for a Super Bowl, and I don't really, I'm rooting for good games, Lions, who I think take a step back, and Buffalo Bills. And I said this, I was seen as sort of a Brady homer. I am kind of fatigued with the LeBron James story. It's nothing against LeBron, but I'm a little fatigued with it. I mean, I know he's a big story, but I got a little fatigued. Like Brady to Tampa to me was fascinating. Oh, it was a new story. I was kind of over grumpy Belichick. Tom had to watch what he said. Edelman's getting over. It's an efficient offense. It's not that much fun to watch. Like Buffalo is a great watch. And they're a great watch because of one guy. It's not the schemes of McDermott. They're a great team to watch with Buffalo.
Yeah. That was, okay. Let's talk about this. Once he started talking about hockey and stuff, I thought I was gonna have to just, find another clip or something. But we got there. Back to the Buffalo Bills. It's because Josh Allen's one of the most exciting players to watch of all time, right? And it is Buffalo. They've been a franchise that has haven't been on the receiving end of some good fortune. And I do know some people from Buffalo as well, and they are incredibly nice. And I'd say their fan base is actually pretty grounded. They really are. They do not fall in the same traps that I've seen the Lamar Jackson and the Patrick Mahomes fans fall into. And it's I put them in a closer category to the Jalen Hurts fans as well. And in a weird way, considering Buffalo is a smaller market, but that's obviously a very intense and massive fan base, relatively speaking. When I make videos about the Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, to me it's very obvious based off of me reading the comments, interacting with people. There's such a greater avalanche of Mahomes fans than Chiefs fans. Such a greater avalanche of Lamar fans than Ravens fans. It is not that way for the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts. Again, there's obviously a ton of Jalen Hurts fans and Eagles fans are going to be Jalen Hurts fans, but it's a different energy. It's definitely a different energy. And I would say it's actually similar to that with the Buffalo Bills. That it's more of this collective, which is so fascinating because Josh Allen is an absolute mega monster superstar. I mean, he's just, it's you either look at Josh Allen and say, man, I hate that guy, or man, do I wish I could just have one day where I could be where I could play as great as him. It's like you either get it or you don't. And it makes sense. Is this a Super Bowl or bust season for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills? Definitely for the coaching staff. I mean, I don't see how you could not. And like I've said so many times now, the Philadelphia Eagles not only winning the Super Bowl, but doing it how they've done it is just like it signals to the Buffalo Bills, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? And I don't want to, like anything that you could say, well, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles had this, and this, and this. And it's like, okay, yeah, they did. Why did you not? Why did you not? Why did the Philadelphia Eagles not have a great defense in 23, and then in 24, that defense was able to dominate and humiliate Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Why was that offense with the Philadelphia Eagles, with a team, with a quarterback who the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen fans will say is nowhere close to as good as Josh Allen? Why were the Philadelphia Eagles able to put Jalen Hurts in a situation to succeed drive after drive after drive? And it's not just AJ Brown and Devontae and Saquon. Like that's just, you can't just always explain it that way. Just not. You just can't. And it's a tough one. I mean, the Buffalo Bills could have been aggressive last year, and they could have moved on from Sean McDermott, and they could have got Ben Johnson, and they could have gotten Fangio. They could have said, Ben, we want to hire you, and we're gonna get Fangio to run the defense. I mean, like, that's what coach could possibly turn down that offer to coach Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, a team that's been consistently in the playoffs, obviously, and flirting with getting and winning a Super Bowl? It's like, who would stop? What about that? Like, you got to take some swings. You got to take some swings. You got to get after it. Sean McDermott did a great job of stabilizing this franchise, undeniably. But it's just, I disagree with the whole, well, you just ran into the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, no, I reject that. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals were able to find a way through them. And you tell me that the Buffalo Bills can't? The Philadelphia Eagles, like that's obviously the most recent example, annihilated them. The Baltimore Ravens defense in 23 against the Kansas City Chiefs, at least offensively, held them to 17 points. But yet that defense has never been able to slow down Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's not just because of how great they are. It's just not. Andy Reid has definitely dialed up some masterpieces, and Patrick Mahomes has obviously been as great as advertised as you could ask for him. But it's just like, we see other moments when teams can slow that down or inhibit that. And yet, when it matters most, the Buffalo Bills just can't seem to do it. And then even in some of these gotta-have-it moments, it's just like Josh Allen left out on an island. And very rarely can you say, that was a play call. That, oh my gosh, that drive, oh my God, bravo, Brady. Not Josh Allen. Like I say with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, I'm like, bravo, Andy Reid. That infamous game, 13-second game, I'm like, that was Andy Reid. That, like, oh, breathtaking masterpiece. And failures by Sean McDermott, of course. And it's just like, that's what it takes. In that Super Bowl, I'm able to point to and say, Kellen Moore, masterclass. Fangio, masterclass. In those masterclasses, you could say, Jalen Hurts, perfect. Cooper DeJean, perfect. But the coaches set that stage for them. And it's just, it continues to be disheartening to see, especially when you see greatness. It's so fascinating to me that we have four quarterbacks: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. And all 4 quarterbacks, depending on the situation that they're given, can literally be the greatest quarterback of all time. Like, it's just crazy that we got 4 of them right now. 4 of them. And to me, Josh Allen is clearly the best quarterback. He's clearly better than Patrick Mahomes. Like I say, there is not a single thing that Patrick Mahomes can do that Josh Allen can't. But Patrick Mahomes cannot do everything that Josh Allen can. And yet Patrick Mahomes has the Super Bowls. And that is 100% because of the franchise itself. And Josh Allen's lack of Super Bowls is because of the franchise itself. And that, to me, is the biggest thing that you're just like, that it just becomes tough to accept year after year after year. In a weird way, it would be tolerable to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles if they're able to go back to back, because then we would just look back on that team and just being like, that was a dominant team. They dominated the Kansas City Chiefs. They won, you would say, they just built a monster team. What are you going to do? And just bad luck, bad timing for Josh Allen Buffalo Bills. But like, it would not be acceptable for them to lose to any other team. Even the Baltimore Ravens, because it's just like, and I put them in the similar boats. Like all my Ravens and Bills videos, like you could pretty much just like, just change the color of their uniforms and I could be having the same take. But it's just like, since you are in direct competition with them, the question would still remain, well, then why did the Baltimore Ravens figure it out before you figured it out? Like, what the heck? You know, like there would still be the pressure of like, okay, you and the Ravens were both going through it over these years. They were able to figure it out. Why were you not able to figure it out? So it's just like, the only team that seems like it would be kind of okay would be kind of the Eagles. You could still be like, well, how were they able to do it without like, but like, you know, that team was years in the making. And so like, it becomes a little bit more defendable, but like not the Chiefs, not the Bengals, not the Ravens, not the Broncos, not the Chargers, not the 49ers, not the not the Rams, just no. So yeah, it's gotta be Super Bowl or bust this season. It's gotta be. For the coaching staff. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And then you want a coach that can actually make real personnel decisions as well. That has that power. That has that collaboration. Like we see with Andy. Like we see with Sean McVay. Like we see with Sean Payton. That matters. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills? Do you think this should be a Super Bowl or bust season for them? And what would that even mean if yes? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.